Hello everyone and welcome to turn 14 or the 23rd of May. Let's get in there and have a look, see what we've got going on. Clear weather, always good. Bit over halfway to the victory points. And Belgium and Netherlands another 15 will take us to 60, so we need to take roughly 11 victory points off France. Ouch, we are right up there with losses, but everyone else except the British is really suffering. Dutch still quite low. Interesting that. Right, so let's go and have a look at how last turn went from the top. 18th Army, nothing particularly dramatic. They just consolidated forward. There's a big line of French troops here that didn't appear in the replay for some reason. But if we can get across the river line here and break out, that's when things will really start moving. Yeah, we put a decent amount of hurt on those guys and then basically evaporated a regiment and cut off another two. We should be able to finish them off this turn, then maybe push alongside the city. French resistance is quite stiff, so there's only so much we can do. That was unfortunate. We didn't actually lose any troops though. Yeah, there's still, as you can see, we did a good number on their troops there, and also some fighters came out to defend them and got shot to bits. We've got some recon flights out. And yeah, we quite frustratingly failed this attack, which really shouldn't have happened, but whatever. But good news, the battered regiments, French regiments here, are starting to dissolve. We're also hitting some overstacked British with planes, doing a bit of scouting. And the French don't seem to have enough troops to maintain a consistent line here. So we both crossed the river and chopped through this section here, this bit here, to cut off the handful of regiments in here, and also continue along towards Le Cateau. No, yeah, pronunciation is not my strong point. Yeah, as you can see, probably 2 divisions worth of French troops were almost cut off. Baby Joe said he would take care of it in his turn, so that is good. And yeah, striking along the river. This whole forest and this bit, these are full of French. We can't see them for some reason. In the replay it's a bit annoying, but yeah, I didn't just not go there because of no reason. And yeah, we're just trying to cut around the side of these guys. Surely they'll have to withdraw eventually, because they can't stay there with us able to cut them off. At least I would hope so. Maybe they will. Yeah, the other major thing was the assault across the river here, which again is to threaten to cut them off and pocket these guys. Same thing, our mobile and Panzer units here don't seem to be able to get much in the way of action points for some reason. So they're not actually able to act like mobile units, which is very frustrating. This is about as far as they could move, when really they should have been able to go half again that distance, from my experience. It's a bit odd. It's a bit odd. I don't quite know what's wrong with them, to be honest. We failed to knock these guys out, but on to 4th Army, the assault on Antwerp, which succeeded with light casualties. We didn't win that, but we did wipe out a very large amount of Belgians. And they seem to be collapsing pretty quick here. Yeah, it looks like this is largely Ooh, if he can cut through here. Yes, he can. Good encirclement of the defenders of Antwerp. Very solid work by Hannibal. That must be curtains for the Belgians. They seem to be largely combined with the encirclement around Brussels. That's about to happen. Yep, that appears to be it. Like, thing is, they must be on the absolute verge of collapse by now. There's no realistic prospect of resistance after this. And that becomes a point where the French and British are alone and don't really have enough troops to maintain a coherent line. So the breakthroughs start to happen with greater and greater frequency, and their command and control dissolves. Artillery by itself defends and does pretty good. Panzer Group Kleist doing again, trying for the old double pocket by the looks of it. I do hope they make it. That would be really... Yep, looks like they have. Yeah, okay, that really is it for the Belgians. Held together by a flak unit. He did mention that in the group chat, which I thought was quite funny. And yet they finished the encirclement here as well. And kind of batter into the British. We don't seem to be able to do anything against the German tanks. Looks like the British held there, which is a bit unfortunate. And it's on to 16th Army, who are finishing off their encirclements. Nothing too surprising there. Hopefully they'll be able to push them out of the city. Oh, maybe not. Here come the last of the Belgians. Or is it the French? Rather, sorry. I do wonder if they're going to try anything clever with this little... Ouch. I'm quite surprised they managed to do that, to be honest. I would have thought that we had enough power to hold them off, but I guess not. Looks like they're finally abandoning the river line here. Can't say I blame them. You don't want to be pinned against it. And they're retreating. That's interesting. Perhaps a few sacrificial... Oh no, that's the other guys moving the other way. They're in full retreat. Which is good and bad. Good in that we enjoy taking more terrain, but bad in that it's quite difficult to engage them, and the French player is canny enough to know... That's good, I'm glad we held that there. The French player is canny enough to know just how far to fall back to make it almost impossible for us to successfully attack. So the next few turns could be quite frustrating as we try and strike for enough victory points to win the game, and the French try and delay. The British are falling back as well, not surprising. Ouch. They nab us with a bunch of British planes. Luckily it's only some engineers, so we don't really care that much. Belgians are doing what they can, but they are failing to break free their pockets. So yeah, that is it. And last but not least, the Dutch are very sensibly falling back. A few units getting left behind. Looks like they may be suffering a bit in this coming turn. And that's it. Right, let's have a look at the turn itself. Got some surrounded Dutch and a breakthrough here. Polder is quite difficult and unpleasant to fight on, but much better than inundation. Heading south, the pockets have held. Everything is all good here for basically the end of the Belgian menace. The French don't seem to be able to hold a coherent line here with this double encirclement going on. So that is that. The northern flank appears to be completely dissolved. British Expeditionary Force, or at least the 3/4 of it, is still alive, is withdrawing in front of Kleist. And I don't really know what's going on here yet. It looks like the French have withdrawn into the fog of war, so I'm going to have to do a bit of scouting and find them. And same here, they've stacked up. Jesus, so many. They have so many troops for what should be a fairly depleted front. I'm guessing that they've been reinforcing it with reserve infantry that they get via cards, so that's a bit unfortunate. Yep, I think the plan for this turn is to strike further and try and maintain that sort of gap between the French and the British. If we can get across these river lines, it's a straight shot to Abbeville and the Channel, and if we can cut them off against the Channel, that is the end of the British. They could always try and do a Dunkirk, as you can see it's up there, but hopefully we'll be able to make them suffer on the way. We do need to be cautious of those casualties though. We're up to 20%, we've only got another 5%. As for cards, I've got the glider division, but I can't really see well enough to deploy it, which is quite frustrating. Actually, that is, I might send, let me just quickly grab some planes and let's have a look. Oh, we've got no action points on them. That's weird. Very weird. See if I can find a bit. I thought I had another fighter unit somewhere here, but maybe I'll have to use one of the bombers. Okay, I'll just have to give it to myself, and then I can use it to scout around camp. Looks like we've got. Ooh, that's quite promising. I think that could be our spot to drop the gliders, actually, because there's only an engineer and some headquarters and not much stopping us there. So I will move these guys forward, see if I can get an attack in. I can. Not as much as I hoped, but wish me luck, guys. Let's see if this. No, I can't play the card? That sucks. Why can I not play the card? Because I can only play it a certain distance from... Ah, that is very frustrating. Okay, I can only play this card a certain distance from Germany. Bummer. I didn't know that, so... shit. What I can say to that? That does make things a lot more difficult. Maybe I should just put it down to try and force the Dutch surrender. Yeah, I think that's what will have to happen. Actually, let's have a look further down. Yeah, we can't actually use it because we've waited too long. That's my bad. I didn't know that that was a limitation. I thought you could deploy it much, much further. Damn. Okay, I guess let's help collapse these guys. And we'll hand them over to the 16th Army and let them do with them what they will. Cool, alright. In that case, a bit of disappointing use of the paras, but what can you do? Thanks a lot everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.